phone with Nicole Clark. She is a rock star realtor in New Jersey. She's a social worker. She helps a lot of people that wants to get into the placement of people that need housing for group homes. So, it's enough about me saying things about Nicole. I let her speak about herself. And Nicole, you could take the floor, let people know what you do.
Well, like you said, I am a realtor. So I work for Weichert Realtors in Tenafly. And then I also work for an agency called Heightened Independence and Progress. And it's an agency to help people with disabilities. So I kind of do a twofold position. I work as a support coordinator. And then I also help senior citizens with applying for Medicaid and things like that. So, and then I have a background in social work. I worked for DIFUS for like 8 years. And I worked as a group home assistant manager for a few years too, like when I first graduated from college. So I do have a lot of experience in the area.
That's great. That's great. That's great. So, the crazy thing, Nicole, we connected through Clubhouse. And I seen, we definitely gravitated from the group home space, and you see a lot of people that need placement. So let's talk about that for a second. How many people do you see per se, on an average day-to-day basis that need placement? Can you give like a round number, or is it just like so many people?
No, basically I have a caseload. So it's kind of based on my caseload. And then if someone calls and asks for assistance, but in the DDD population for me, I have a caseload. So I don't see as many people that need placement because most of my people are placed. Like I have some consumers that are in group homes, but I do have some younger consumers who are looking for housing. So there are some programs out there that do housing. Like for instance, Easter Seals has a program that they do some housing. And I'm sorry, United Way has housing. So like I have some consumers who are, in their housing program.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of subsidized. So if you're looking to do something like that, that's a route you could go.
Absolutely. So people that may not know, that means a developmental disability, right? DD. So let's talk a little bit more about that. Some like when you see people that go into group homes that need placement, typically the ratio from people that need placement, because you are absolutely correct. As a social worker, you have like a caseload of so many people, and then they kind of divide them up into the agency, right? Different people like that. So typically speaking, how many people do you see, like not per your caseload or different caseworkers, but see per like ratio of a group home that need placement? Is it like a good even ratio, or is it?
I would say truthfully, like in my office, I know we have like, I think a couple hundred cases. I would say probably 50% of them are in group homes. And then the other percentage are in their homes with their parents, or some of them are in supportive housing. So that's kind of what your people would be looking to do, like provide that supportive housing.
Absolutely.
So I would say probably like maybe like 30% of them are looking for supportive housing, or if they're home with their family, they're looking to, the parents are getting older. So because the parents are getting older, they are starting to look towards that group home thing, which I think is probably the route to go, especially in New Jersey. I'll be honest with you. There's not enough group homes in New Jersey.
Yes.
And then there's a need also for group homes, like, for instance, like weekends or breaks for parents. If the parents need, a break, we need more group homes like that can provide respite. That's what we lack that.
Yes. Bingo. So what people do not know is respite is just a short-term stay for a temporary stay for a long-term solution, right? They stay there temporarily to get placed elsewhere long-term. So familiar with respite, correct me if I'm wrong. I see the numbers vary from different state to state. So I definitely see respite can pay anywhere from $100 to $300 per day.
That's correct.
That's correct, right? So
that's correct.
Okay.
And they even use hotels. I'll be honest with you. We use hotels, and they'll have like what we call a DSP, which is a direct service person, stay at the hotel with them to provide respite for the family, because there's not always, placement. So I would recommend, truthfully, if someone's looking to purchase a group home, even if they just did respite as their group home, because we're always looking for it. Because like I have like one of my coworkers, one of her clients goes to respite like every 3 months.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
So,
wow, and you're absolutely right about it. The funny thing, Nicole, about respite is you don't need a license for respite. I don't think people necessarily understand that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you are inside of a house or maybe a commercial building outside of a hotel motel, because a hotel motel, you can transform that into a transitional housing or something like that. But if you're inside of a house, then they may require you to get a license and different things like that. But respite is such a unique thing, especially if you have, like, to your point, a respite facility. They can just stay there short term and then go somewhere else long term. So I think it's pretty cool. And then let's talk about, because me and you connected with these numbers are like insane for New Jersey. These numbers are insane for New Jersey. And I'm only saying that because I absolutely love what I do. I've been doing group homes for 7 years now, and I'm in 3 states going into 2 more with group homes. And I can honestly admit this, I thought the numbers was a little bit lower for New Jersey, but I'm gonna let you say it, right? They don't even got to hear it from me. So what are you seeing for a DD client or resident? What are the numbers for those?
It depends. It depends on the person's tier, but pretty much it's over $100,000 a year. Wow. It's just over that. And then the other thing is, I don't know, like sometimes people, like for instance, there's some programs that own group homes, plus they own day programs as well.
Yes, adult day.
So then they end up getting group home money plus day program money. So that's something people may want to consider too. I mean, they have to get the license and do all of that, but
absolutely.
And some of those are like, $50,000 a year just for a day program.
Yes. And this is what I'll try to explain to people. You go in there with the right intentions, helping people. And I started this because I was helping homeless veterans. Like I served myself. So it was a pleasure to serve other people that needed this, the additional assistance. So for me to start doing all these different forms of group homes, I was like, wow, there's so many people that need help. And I think with DD, it's a lot more people that need help. But in order to get that license from the state, I think that's the holdup, because the license can take a little bit longer to get into. But that's from what you're seeing from your agency, right? Let's say someone contact you. Let's talk a little bit about, like, how does the placement work? How do you guys vet group home owners to make sure it's the right fit for the residents? Can we talk about that?
We don't really do that so much because like my agency doesn't necessarily do that. It's more, everything is from the state. So like the group homes we have and that we have to use have to be state licensed. So because we have consumers, all my consumers come from, DDD, which is a state agency. It has to be licensed. So that's pretty much how we work. But you may be able to work with a family that wants to do a group home, a private placement. So you may be able to find something like that they're willing to. Because for instance, some consumers do have trusts and the parents have a trust set up. So that may work. And then also you may be able to find a parent as well that may be willing that once they pass away, they'll allow their home to be transferred into a group home because they want their child to remain in that home. So that's,
Yes, absolutely. Now, do you guys when I say you guys, like your agency, do your agency do any placements for adolescents? Because I know that's because that's a whole.
We don't. We work with 21. All of the consumers I work with are 21 and over.
Okay. Now, from your experience, let's say someone, comes to you and say, can you help? We know you're in the space. Can you actually help with the adolescent? Maybe they're 18 years old. We know you do 21 plus. Do you refer them out to other caseworkers that you may know, or how does that work?
What we'll do is we'll refer them back to DDD, because what they can do is then actually the state agency, and they can do all the paperwork and actually get a case open there. One thing I will say, because I did work in child protective, that there's also an aging out population that I think may work as well. Because once the children turn 18, the state kind of just lets them go. It's like here's some cash and we're done with you. And then a lot of times the foster parents don't want to be bothered. It just depends on the foster parent. So that may be another untapped market that you may be able to go into, that aging out population.
Absolutely. And this is some very good insight. As time progresses, I'll definitely send people your way that's starting up their group homes, that's licensed, and need placement for DD clients to actually get the certificates and all, pass the backgrounds and all that good stuff that they got to do with the state of New Jersey. But, as time goes on, I just wanted to really hop on this phone call and say thank you for informing us, and not just myself, but just everybody out there in New Jersey specifically that wants to get into this realm, because obviously have caseloads of people that need placement. So I think this is very good insight. Now,
and another, I was going to say, well, I'm sorry to cut you off. One other thing I would say is you may want to also look at support coordination agencies. They may want to contact them, because then you can get different caseworkers, because there's, I think, a couple thousand support coordination agencies in New Jersey that you could reach out to. So if they had placements that they needed to use, you could actually access them and let them know that, hey, I'm a group home, that you can contact us. You could even go to the offices, drop off whatever you have, or discuss it with them.
Absolutely. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And you did say you're a realtor. So how can people find you if they need extra assistance?
They could just reach out to me. They could call me through my cell phone, or either on Instagram. I'm on Instagram as well. I think it's under Nicole Clark. So but they can reach me my email. I'll give you my email and all my information as well. And I work for Weichert and Tenafly.
Perfect. So I will be sending people your way. Definitely appreciate the time, Nicole. I thought this was very informative. So I'll definitely share the nuggets that you dropped with us today. And I hope, you have a great day as well. And definitely looking forward to doing some things with you as well, because I know we're working on some deals. So just want to